Yo, what up, YouTube? This your boy HP. You know what I mean? We back with another video, babes. You know what I mean? I'm back here in the studio. Finna show y'all how to move the beat from here to the DAW. Now, it's two ways to do this, all right? You can do it by the song mode, what I mean by song mode is that you already render out the whole entire song. You can put all your effects in there and you got it. You got all your drops in there and everything just the way you want it. Or you can put it in there by pattern. So the pattern is where you just putting the short stem that's the same amount of timing. That's the same timing as the bars. Like you might have an 8-bar stem or a 4-bar stem, right? So we're gonna be mixing these down into stems to go into the DAW to do the editing. All right. So I'm gonna show y'all two ways to do it. Now I'm not gonna be doing no editing on her. I'm just gonna be showing y'all how to bounce them down. Okay. So let's get it. First, let me find the song. All right. So I found the song that I want to do. Okay. So don't mind my spelling. My spelling is screwed. I can barely spell anything. So let's get that out. All right. Anyway. So to do a song in song mode, what it is like you have to go here, and that's when you already got the song together, and you hit convert to sequence. Okay, right there. Can you see it? Convert to sequence. Okay, so once you go to convert to sequence, you hit the button, convert it. Bam. You go. It's gonna start you off at 1, and you got to go all the way over till you see song, which you can actually name the song and everything too. All right, you see that? All right, so until you see the song part, okay? Now, once you got all that done, you listen to it, make sure exactly how you want it to be before you render it out, all right? This already completed. So you want to go to menu, go to save, go to mix down, audio mix down, all right? Bam. So we want these to be WAV files because we're pushing them over to the DAW, okay? So what happened next is you want to export these files. Hit export. Oh, no, go back. Let's redo that. You want to hit explode. I'm sorry. Hit explode. I'm sorry. All right. So once you hit explode, then you want to hit export. Okay. Go to the drive where you want the file to be at. I want it in here, so I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it HP Mix. All right. I don't know if y'all can see that, but anyway, we're going to complete the folder. Couldn't create the folder. Okay. Here, okay. I wonder why I said that. Let's do it again. H. Let's just put a whole bunch of H's. All right, now I completed the folder. So now we just want to render this down in there. Bam. So once that render, we're gonna come back. Now this right here, what I'm rendering now is the whole song. So it's going from, this is actually gonna be, I think around 80 bars if I'm not mistaken, okay? So while that's waiting on that to happen, you gotta know your tempo and go ahead and type in your tempo on here. All right, so I don't know my tempo yet. I gotta wait till it finish rendering. So once that get done, I'm gonna come back. All right, y'all. So that took about 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes to actually render down. It's supposed to take a little minute. If it renders too fast, that means that it's not actually putting a folder on there. Okay, so you want to go back to the file and go check to make sure that it's there. All right. Where I put the file at? All right, let me find it first. I'll be back. All right, y'all. So I found the file. I found it. It was all the way at the bottom down here. So clicking that bad boy. All right, we're gonna check them out. Make sure all the sounds in there. Some of these sounds ain't gonna play right off the bat. Now, for the ones that's not playing right off the bat, that don't mean that they not there. That just mean that that's where your intro part's at. Okay. So some of them, they might be muted on that spot. All right, so they all there. As long as some of them pop up, they good. All right. So that's done. You want to hit eject. All right. Bam. Then you want to put it into your computer, of course. All right, once you got it in there, you want to move that file over from your computer. Now, oh yeah, the first thing before we get started, we want to make sure the tempo is on point. So we want to look at the tempo on this song. All right, so the tempo is 135. That's the tempo. So we want to change that to 135, okay? Because that makes a difference, especially when it comes to recording. It'll make it easier when you gotta bounce down. Like say for instance, I'm not bounce down, but when you're moving down like the chorus and all that stuff, it makes it a lot easier. Okay. And then not only that, when you're using certain effects like delays and all that stuff, it makes it easier to use the delay when you got the tempo of the beat. Okay. All right, so I wanna move this file down. Let's see. Let's move this out the way for now. My bad, y'all. This thing getting heavy. All right, so you wanna see my hand shaking. All right. Man, I'm holding this big old wood block too at the same time. I gotta rest my arm. Crap. Okay. So we wanna go to move the file over. So let's go to where the file at. All right, move that whole file over to your computer. What I usually do, I put that stuff in something called the DAW. I put it in DAW, as you can see right there. I got a DAW right there. But I usually put it in there, but since I'm just doing this video, I'm just trying to make something quick, right quick, all right? Okay, so once it's in there, open that file up. Then highlight them and slide them over. Bam. Once they slide over, it's gonna be like that. I know my arm's shaky, man. I gotta set this thing down. Let me set this stuff down. All right. Man, that one was getting heavy, that block. All right, so once you got it all there, now as you can see, everything gonna be on point. Like for the drums and stuff, especially if you use the tempo, okay? So let me zoom in on the real close just to give you an example. All right, you see right there where it say the 25 at? Excuse me. Let me make sure this snapping on point. Okay, snap to grid. But you see how these lines, everything is on point. You see that? Every time I click on one of them, it's clicking right in the middle of this right here. All right? So every time I click one, bam, is everything on point, everything on point. It don't matter what you do. You can chop stuff up right here or anything, you feel me? And so that's that. When you hit play, so now I'm going to show y'all how to do the chop it up in sections for this. If you don't want to do, you see how I got the drops and stuff right there? Maybe you want to do that after you put it in a DAW, okay? So I'm going to show y'all how to do that, all right? Which is almost like an arranger, in other words, okay? All right, so what you want to do this time, instead of going to song, you want to go to the one that you want to go do. So I'm gonna go to 2. I'm assuming. All right, go to track mute. Make sure all the tracks in there highlighted. You know what I mean? Okay, so we just gonna render this down, which is it's gonna render down a lot faster because it's only rendering down 8 bars. Okay. All right. So next you want to do is you want to do the same steps. Hit menu, go to save, go to mix down, explode tracks. But see, this one say a 1 second tail on there. So you can take the tail off of there for real. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do one with the tail and I'm gonna do one without the tail on it. So you'll know the difference, okay? So I would say take the tail off, my personal opinion. All right, the tail is right here where it say the 1 second tail. Can you see it? All right, so you really want to take that off when you're doing it like this, but I'm gonna bounce down 2 of them to give you an example, okay? So you want to hit explode. All right, I'm gonna open up a new folder inside this folder so it'll be easier for me to get to. We're gonna put 1. Here, do it. Oh, I already started. All right, so that's gonna mix down pretty fast. All right. All right, so that was done real quick in about less than a minute. So let's make sure everything on there like how it's supposed to be. Go into that file, go to the file number 1, and we want to play them to make sure they are there. Okay, they all there. All right, so that's with the tail. Now we're gonna do one without the tail. Okay, we're gonna call that number 2. All right, so we're gonna go back to main. We're gonna do the same process. Go to save, go to mix down, go to the tail point right here where it got the tail. Turn it to 0. No tail on there. Okay. Export. We're going to change this file to new folder. We're going to do another folder. I'm sorry. And call that number 2. Do it. Then save. All right. Now that's going to mix down real quick. As you can see, it's running through them. But when you're doing the song mode, it take a little bit longer. Anytime you rendering down a whole full song that got multiple bars, like over 20 bars or more, it shouldn't render down this fast like how it's rendering down fast, okay? All right. So let's check it to make sure everything on there. Where number 2 at? Oh, we put number 2 inside of number 1. Okay, so it's number 2 inside of number 1, and we're gonna check it. Okay, everything there. All right, so you want to hit eject. All right. All right, let me put these on the computer. Now remember, like I said, make sure that you put the file on the computer, okay? So I'm gonna do that and then I'll be right back. You wanna take the whole file out of there, copy it onto the computer, okay? All right, y'all, so we got file 1 and file 2 up here, right? So let's take all these off, delete these, okay? Now I'm gonna put file 1 up there first. Now make sure whatever you do, don't put your the sounds from off the SD card, okay? So make sure you're not on the SD card, all right? So you want to click out of there. Click out of there. Click into your folder. Bam. All right. So I got both of the files. I done double copied this on here, but I'm gonna delete it once I'm done. But anyway, okay. So we're gonna upload file 1 first with the tail on there. Now these the ones with the tail, okay? And see, once I load it in there, let me zoom in. You see how I got that tail on the tip of there, starting at 9? You can cut that off, it's optional, you know what I'm saying? You could just move this back like this, and it'll still do the same thing as if you didn't have the tail on there, okay? So right there at the end of the 8 bars where the 9 started, you wanna cut that off, all right? So let's go to the one without the tail. It's gonna stop right at 9, all right? So we're gonna delete these. Bam, them the ones without the tail. You see how I stopped right at 9? So all you gotta do now is just copy them bad boys, copy, and just paste it all the way down, you feel me? Paste. I'm slow with copying and paste. Paste, and keep on doing that all the way till you get to where you want it to be. It's an easier way to paste, but I'm doing it the hard way. So, all right. So now let's hit play. Start from the beginning. And you can control your volume, your mute. So let's say we don't want these in there in the beginning. You gonna take them out. All right. All right, that's how it's done, man. Real easy, real simple. You know what I'm saying? Now, some people like to do it like this. You know, a lot of people that want to take it to the next level inside the DAW. That's when they do it like this. But if you already took it to the next level inside the MPC, you do it the first way I showed you, where you just upload the whole entire song, but in stems. Okay, so these is what's called stems. These things, a lot of people don't know what they're called. It's called stems, okay? And this is really how you're supposed to buy a beat. When you buy beats from people, I'm gonna put y'all on a little game, and for the people that sell beats too, all right? When you already sell a beat that's already been mastered, say for instance, when you do it like this, you want to leave the beat raw as possible. You might do a little bit of adjusting and all that stuff, but you kind of want to leave it alone, leave it raw, and let the people that's gonna work in the DAW to do everything that need to be done to the beat, so they can actually, you know what I'm saying, make it fit with the song to where it ain't overpowering the vocals and stuff, right? So when you selling a beat, the main thing you need to know when selling a beat or buying a beat is that you must have the tempo, okay? The tempo is mandatory. That's more mandatory than having the stems, okay? The next thing is mandatory is having the stems. because if one sound is not cooperating right with the vocals, you can alter the sound through the stem instead of having to put an EQ over the whole MP3 or the whole wave file that's in one file, and you taking away different elements from the rest of the beat. Like if I take the bass out of here, it might affect the bass the drum line. You know what I'm saying? If I got a bass instrument, right, like a deep brass or something, right, and if you turning that down on a full one wave, because most of the time when people buy a beat, it come on one wave like this. Like say for instance that first top line, that's just one wave. Well, this right here, that's one wave and that's the beat. But once you start EQing that one wave, it's affecting every instrument, okay? But when they do it like this, you can make that song sound so much more crispy. It sounds so much more professional. You don't even have to be a professional. That's the main step into going into professionality when it comes to selling beats and making beats or making songs in the end, regardless. So if you got your MPC at home and you're doing all your production at the crib, stem everything out, then put it on the DAW. Make sure you got the tempo, and you can adjust the beat how you need to be adjusted. You know what I'm saying? Like, say for instance, that guitar play that's too loud, right? So what I do is, see how I can turn that down? Say the drum too loud. You see what I'm saying? You can work with how it needs to be worked with, okay? You know what I'm saying? And that's without even adding no effects or anything to it. Then you can go into super producing with just doing extra stuff to the beat. You know what I mean? It's so much you can do with this stuff, man. It's endless. You know what I mean? And then a lot of people say, making music the wrong way. It ain't no way of making music wrong way. Ain't no right way. But they contradict themselves when they say that, because then they listen to a mix and say that's done wrong. But it ain't no wrong way. So is it a right way or wrong way or not? But these are the basic rules that you must do. And once you follow these rules, everything else is up to you on how you want it to sound. All right. So I just gave y'all my input on that, and hopefully y'all come out with some great mixes. You know what I mean? So shout out to y'all. I got another video coming after this. So let's get it.